All right. Yay.
All right.
All right. Thank you all so much for coming out today to celebrate this wonderful book by Zan, Encore, a collection of poetry. It is, to me, one of the best poetry books I've ever read. Zan knows how much I love her work and how much I'm honest about it too. And we have had a great time going through and going over and editing and working on this, and it's been wonderful. It's wonderful to work with Zan because, you know, she listens and I listen. I think we listen to each other well, and we seem to understand each other in our poetic language. So I really appreciate that. And I like to be around people that are positive and energetic, and it rubs off on me. So I really appreciate that. Um, Zan's probably not going to say it, so I'm going to say it. I just submitted her book to be considered for the Pulitzer Prize. And so let's all pray that happens. So, so anyway, I will probably be dancing all the way to Colorado if that happens. I probably won't need a plane. She'll meet me halfway. We'll both be
I was
flying.
gonna say, you got to win, Zan. You got to win. I got to see this.
So thank you all so much for coming out. It's great. I think I know just about everybody in here today. I'm not sure who iPhone 2 is. Who's that? Let me put your name on you. Can I add your
Is that
name?
me?
It says iPhone 2. No, not you, Joni. Put your name.
I know Elliot was trying to join.
Okay.
So do you think it might be Elliot? I don't know.
Well, if you don't have your name shown, if you could change it to rename, so we'd like to know the names of the people that are in here. It also could have a bearing on getting your name in a drawing, because I've written down the names of people so that we could do a drawing a little bit later too. So well, welcome you all. I'm so glad to have everybody here, and let's get the party started. I'm going to start with Cheryl Jackson. Cheryl Jackson is going to share with us. So Cheryl, I'm going to let you take off.
Okay. I actually wrote Zan's foreword, and I just couldn't believe that Zan entrusted me to write it, because following her husband was a little intimidating for me. And honestly, I was a little afraid to to take it on because I didn't want to, honestly, I didn't want to fail. So I was a little scared. But when you know the person that is entrusting you to kind of capture what it is they're messaging in their book, it makes it a lot easier. And because I've come to know Zan and just reading everything that she's so far written, for the most part, her individual projects, it made it a lot easier. So I'm here to celebrate her because I think she's just so incredible and so phenomenal. And I am a huge fan. I am just so excited to be here and just witness her ascension because I just think she's that awesome. And I'm so glad to be part of it. And so writing this forward ended up being not at all a task. It just ended up being like just a labor of love because I wanted to let Zan know just how phenomenal of a person and a writer I think she is. And so I'm just happy to be here witnessing everybody celebrate her today. And I celebrate you, Zan. This is a great occasion and a big moment for you. And thank you for letting me be part of it.
Thank you, Cheryl. That's beautiful. Really, really happy with you being a part of this book. You know how much I appreciate you and love your work, and so it's such an honor to have you write the foreword. Sorry, Jim, you got kicked out this time, but you know, you did a great job, Cheryl, and we still know
Oh.
Jim is the wind behind the wings or whatever for Zan, but
Cheryl, I
we
want
have to
you
have girl
know-
power too.
I want you to know, Cheryl, when I woke up one morning, it was clear to me, without a doubt, that you were the one. I woke up with it. And I got goosebumps just thinking about it and hearing you. You had no reason to be intimidated. Jim is a hard act to follow. I have to admit that. He's a tough act to follow. But listen, you showed up and showed out, and I'm honored by your forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheryl, first off, I'm glad to be in good company because I was scared too. I was as nervous as you are saying you are. And one of these days, I won't say it now, but one of these days, we'll have to share a little story about how I wrote the foreword. I think you're going to love it. And then it'll put away all of your concern about having to follow me. It'll level the playing field there. But you knocked it out the park, girl. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, Sarfraz is going to share something with us.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to talk about writing the back blurb for Zan's book Encore, and I'm going to talk about the story of it. So I've known Zan. I've had the pleasure to have known Zan and to have written poetry with Zan for I think a couple of years now. I think since lockdown we've all been exchanging poetry, and I've had the pleasure to work with Zan on a few occasions. And I think some of the poetry that we've written, I'm just going to put it out there, I think it's still some of the best poetry I've ever written, because I think with Zan, you've just got an instinct for the poetic word, and you fuel my fire. And I think you inspire so many people. And I've spoken to so many people out there. Obviously, we're both moderators for the Passion of Poetry, and we see so many poems, and and we meet so many poets. But I think, for me, that once in a lifetime there comes a person like Zan. And that actually is the start of the back blurb that I wrote. Now, when Zan contacted me and she asked me, would I write the back blurb for her book Encore? First and foremost, I was so excited that you're going to have a new collection of poetry, which is going to be your collection. Because I'll be honest with you, it gives me goosebumps just to read your work and your exciting and your take on it. There is no one out there like yourself who's writing, and we are lucky to have you around the world. I mean, everyone that I speak to, in fact, in lots of podcasts and lots of interviews that I do, I always cite Zan, and then the other one is Elliot Rubin, as two of my favorite poets. And if you wrote 100 books, I'll be collecting 100 books. Zan, you are just absolutely amazing. I'm so lucky, and it was an honor and a privilege to write a back blurb for you. So when I got the task to write the back blurb, I actually said this to Zan. I said, Zan, I'm going to give you a gift. And the gift that I'm going to give you, I'm going to write the best back blurb that I've ever written in my life. And I gave myself the task because I wanted to give you this. And so this is the back blurb of the book Encore, and it's immortalized, hopefully forever. So here we go. Once in a lifetime, there comes a person that casts a shadow on all that has gone before. Like a flower turning to the sun, you turn to her, totally captivated, mesmerized by her every word, her poetry, and her sheer presence. If you have been fortunate to have previously encountered Zaneta, Varnado Johns through her previous collection of poetry, Poetic Forecast and After the Moon, or through her many contributions to anthologies and journals, Voices of the 21st Century, her words will have certainly left their mark. Her poetry, her passion would have soaked you in entirely, completely intoxicating you like a drug, left you wanting more. Encore, a collection of poetry, is a delight to those that love poetry and beyond. Her voice roars like a lioness, comes off the page, awakens the beast in all of us. Through her powerful words, she stands up loud and proud, confronting all aspects of modern life. Encore is in 6 parts, whispers and romance, essence in awe, short, sweet, rants, spiles, keynotes. Each chapter takes you on the delightful journey through the poetic world of Zan Johns. Each poem is a treasure. Notable gems include Hold Me Close, Blessed Life, Willows at Boston Commons, First Prize Scar, When Time Stands Still, At a Standstill for Leicester, Car. Move on, Miss Simone, Mother, Tell Me a Story, Yours Inside and Out, Wishful Thinking, Babyfish, Curtain Call, Boundaries, On the Way to Heaven, Innocent Love, What Men Do, Stop Harassing Resilience, My Talk with Jerome 997, What If and Why I Write. You will want to read this book from cover to cover and then read it over again as it becomes a soothing balm, nurturing your soul and purifying your mind. Zan is a natural talent, a living legend, a poet within our lifetime. This book is a classic. Each poem is beautiful and each word will awaken your soul. Wake up, world. Zan Johns is here and she has something to say. Thank you.
Wow. I am standing tall and proud. Yes, it's your best back cover blurb ever.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Honored me so. Oh my goodness. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you.
I just want to say amen.
Amen.
No.
Amen. Me too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that was extraordinary.
I
mean,
want you to write about me. I want you to write about me. Tell me.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. That back blurb is far surpasses any of my own back blurbs.
On your own books?
Of any of my books. But the last line, which is true, and this is the truth for the world of poetry and the literary world. Wake up, world. Zan Johns is here and she has something to say. And that's what Encore is all about. Encore has got so many layers on it, and lots of, because I think with you, Zan, you cut out all the BS, if I can say that. You go straight for the jugular, and I love you for it.
Thank
And you know, Stand Up World, Zan Jones has something to say. So the book, I read it with delight when I got it, just to write the back blurb. And I have got, you know, my own copy coming. Hopefully, right across the pond is somewhere coming along. And I wondered if I could read the first poem that I said that I actually really, really liked, which was "Hold Me Close."
Yes.
If I can read that from the book.
Yes, please
So
do.
when I was in preparation for writing the back blurb, I knew what I knew what I was going to say, but I didn't know the poetry. So the poetry just came and hit me. So here we go. From the first sections of, I think it's Whispers and Romance, like Whispers of Romance. Here we go. Hold me close. When you hold me, nothing can harm me. The world is bright. I am safe. When you hold me, my thoughts are clearer. My spirit rejoices. I am free. When you hold me, I sleep sounder. My dreams are deeper. I am renewed. When you hold me, the clouds hold promise. The earth is treasure. I am serene. When you hold me, the birds sing shriller, flowers bloom fuller. I am entranced. When you hold me, the winter's warmer, the summer's cooler. I am bold. When you hold me, my faith is stronger. Heaven is nearer. I am redeemed. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Fraz. Thank you so
Guess who
much.
that was written for?
I think that
I'm waiting to meet that guy, huh?
but that poem, just because I do like a bit of romance now and then, but beautiful words,
Said
immortalized.
the romantic poet. That's
The romantic
surprises
poet.
me. Yeah.
Good choice. Good
Beautiful.
choice.
Yeah, you know, that's really personal. But it says, you know, my heart, you know, kind of flutters, you know, when I think about that, because, you know, it's a gift to me.
Yeah.
As much as it is a gift to her, and it reminds me of how important it is just to hold each other.
Yeah.
And that, so
It's perfect. It was.
I want my royalties. No, I'm just kidding.
It was the first poem that hit me, and it hit me hard, and it went straight through my heart, and so I mentioned it quite a lot, because you know it is beautiful. I think, you know, you can write anything, but when you write from the heart,
Yeah.
and you show your vulnerability, and I think, you know, and I could hear your voice when I was even reading it. I could hear Zan's beautiful voice reciting it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Fraz.
Wow.
Cheryl, would you like to share a poem? I think I jumped ahead.
Yeah. I actually told Zan I had so many poems that I wanted to recite that she actually wrote. But I kind of paired this with one of my own, and it's very similar. So I'm going to read Life as a Breeze on page 37. Life as a breeze. If I were the wind, I could go where I please. I could be calm. I could be fierce. I could be soft. I could be swift. I could roar. I would sway unpredictably from gentle to strong. My gusts would command your undivided attention. I would be nameless. If I had no gender, no color, like the wind, might I be more welcome? Might I be safe? Might others not fear me? Might I be privileged? Might my life as a breeze be splendid?
That's beautiful.
And my poem that I'm going to read is called A Wind Seeker, and that's from my sister and our upcoming third book called Sisters Rock and Rhyme presents Poems in the Key of Life. This poem is called The Wind Seeker. Why aren't women told at a certain age everything within us undergoes a metaphysical metamorphosis? No one talks about these profound and delicate womanly changes. Our bodies burn from the inside out. Unimaginable bursts of heat. Body temperatures rising higher and higher. Am I losing my mind? Quickly, beads of moisture line my forehead, tingling hands and feet. Nighttime is when the fire is its most pronounced. Morning and daytime are a desired respite. Daylight is what I seek, seeking relief. Nighttime revelations, bed coverings proclaim an unannounced ambush. A new life phase. Menopause declares its unknown and unwelcomed terrain. Enjoy the sweet days of youth, dear girl. I pray you never become the wind seeker.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. I have a lovely video from Elizabeth that she shared with me, and then we're going to have Elizabeth come on and talk.
Wow, it is an honor to be here to celebrate with author Zaneta Varnado Jones the release of her debut titled Encore. I wish I could give everyone in this room the key to unlock my heart and see the flood of gratitude and pride to be associated with a remarkable and phenomenal poet as author Zaneta Varnado Jones. Beyond being a stellar poet, author Zaneta has contagious charisma, and I really respect her for her style of writing. Author Zaneta is my role model. Her recitation style and the uniqueness of her poetry voice always inspires me.
Uh-oh, sorry. My bad.
Well, that's the catfish.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, that's
catfish
not a
isn't
bad
on there
thing.
yet.
That looks pretty good.
Let me go back and find that. It was one of those little oops moments. Sorry about that.
You're thinking about that catfish, Lisa.
I
Yeah.
got catfish on my mind. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I didn't mean to cut into your video.
Yeah, I was eating her words and then the catfish popped up. So
It's all right, Mom Lisa.
All right, we'll just get back on track here and see if I can quit being so trigger fingered here. All right. Not an official book launch if I don't at least mess up one time.
That's part of the
it
fun.
gives flavor.
That's right.
Mhm.
All right, let's go.
Wow, it is an honor to be here to celebrate with author Zaneta Varnado Jones the release of her debut titled Encore. I wish I could give everyone in this room the key to unlock my heart and see the flood of gratitude and pride to be associated with a remarkable and phenomenal poet as author Zaneta Varnado Jones. Beyond being a stellar poet, author Zaneta has contagious charisma, and I really respect her for her style of writing. Author Zaneta is my role model. Her recitation style and the uniqueness of her poetry voice always inspires me to write as best as I can and to deliver the very best to my poetry audience, because that is what author Zaneta does. I would like to read from her book titled Encore, a very special poem in her debut collection titled Why I Write? That is a question that every author always has an answer to. And in her book titled Encore, author Zaneta has given the reasons, very, very rich and meaningful reasons why she writes. I also resonate with that question because I have my reasons why I write, why I keep spilling my inspiration, why I keep inking on paper for the world to enjoy. So come along with me and I will read Why I Write from Encore, a book of poems by author Zaneta Varnado Jones. Why I Write. I watched Nikki Giovanni trip over her ego. I witnessed the phenomenal Maya Angelou rise. How could I not be totally mesmerized? Countless strong women preceded me, surrounded me, nurtured me. I honor them as I nudge the next wave of strong women to write, trip, rise. My pen, my weapon, my best friend, mouthpiece for my muse. It remembers what Nikki said. It remembers what Maya said. It remembers what my parents said. It shares my truth as it repeats what God says. I write to spread love. I write to heal, help, and honor. I write to leave a footprint, my literary mark. I want my great-great-great-grandchildren to know that I was here. I want them to know how and what I felt. I want them to speak their truth. I want them to know what matters. This is why I write. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was so beautiful. And I
That was
love
amazing.
expressions.
Thank you, Mom Lisa. And thank you, Mom Zan, for having me here today. A honor. Ever since I've known you, you've been so supportive. And I really appreciate you for lending a hand to a young poet as me, an upcoming poet, because you keep inspiring me. You are everything you do. You are always giving me a reason to keep doing what I know how to do best. Thank you very much for being a very, very precious person and a role model to me in the literary community.
Elizabeth, man, what a blessing. All the way, all this love and youthful wisdom from Nigeria. Isn't this amazing? I can't help but support you and celebrate you because your future is so bright, so bright. I'm in awe of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mom.
I think we have an actress in our midst as well. Elizabeth's been doing some acting with online, and it's really fun to watch.
Well, we'll have to see that.
You know what I want to say is, boy, I wish somebody would pronounce my name as beautiful as Elizabeth did. I mean, gee whiz. I just had to say that. Beautiful.
Okay. Next we have Jill, and she's going to recite a poem. I'm just going to play a little video along the way. So whenever you're ready, Jill.
Zan asked me to recite this particular poem, and it actually inspired one of my own. This is called Catfish on a Red Plate. Catfish on a red plate. Living good is eating catfish on a red plate. Sizzling hot, bones or not, hot sauce handy, appetite required, table optional, gather, chilled beverage, carbonated, rhythm and blues, down home prefer, TV on or off, good company, so much history, so much love, time almost stands still, ready to face whatever comes. This is home. This is ritual. This is rich. Living good is catfish on a red plate.
Thank you, Jill. Thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much.
I love that poem.
I do too. That's my favorite poem in the whole book.
Is it? Oh my gosh. Go, Jill. I'll talk about it later. Jill has a poem.
Oh, I'm
That's-
just going to share some excerpts from a poem that this was, in fact, I realized that I do not have a cast iron skillet. And so I wrote about that because it was made clear to me somewhere along the line, we don't have cast iron skillets in our family. So Zan sent me to where I can find one. And this is what I did until I did find one. It's called A New Tradition. By the time I was born, my grandmother made conversation and dinner reservations instead of cooking most nights. Though I'd heard tell stories of chicken fried in a cast iron skillet, someone else's memories of hot cornbread drizzled with honey and the fluffiest biscuits slathered with butter. No cast iron skillet in this girl's life, at least not yet. We have our traditions. Celebrating special holidays means family. Foods prepared by generations of women with loving hearts and hands. There are feather light matzo balls floating in hearty chicken soup, briskets brimming with carrots and onions in a rich and fragrant broth, sponge cakes light as air, and those Hanukkah latkes crisp on the edges, soft in the center, no matter how many my mom makes, not a crumb ever remains. But no cast iron skillet in this girl's life, at least not yet. I promise to share the rest in a post on social media. And Zan, thank you so much, not only for allowing me to join today with everyone, but for inspiring with Catfish on a Red Plate, something I hope will be special from me. And just to mention it, Tim's having catfish for dinner. His home health aide said, listen, we've got some in the freezer from the other night when I made it for you. How would you like some catfish? And of course, today's the day. And I'm having matzo ball soup because I don't eat catfish. But thank you, Zan, for everything. Thank you for letting me be here to celebrate you, to celebrate Encore, and to celebrate with all of you a very special bond of sisterhood and friendship.
Wow. All I can say, Jill, is I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Oh, I love your poem. Thank you so much for being here and reading Catfish on a Red Plate. That poem was inspired from a phone conversation with my friend Shauna Seals, who's the lady in the picture holding the catfish on a red plate. I just returned from Louisiana and I took that picture of her just for this book launch. I love it. I am hungry. So thank you, Jill.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Jill, you're going to be in trouble when you release that because that is an excellent poem, but you better watch your mail because people are going to send you a cast iron skillet. So just be aware.
Dan told me to go to a thrift shop, and my thought there was I'm going to find one and I'm going to season it with salt and all my love and begin a new tradition in my family. So she said go to a thrift shop, but it's not always so easy for me to get out. So if somebody offers one in the mail or Facebook Marketplace, I'll take it. You think that that's what's going to happen?
I
That
know
would be-
that's going to happen, and you're going to have a recipe on how to get it all ready, and it's not going to be just salt. It's going to be some
Right.
lard and all that. Oh yeah, you watch, you see.
We
Thank
had that
you,
talk
Jen.
this morning, didn't we, Jill? I said, salt? You need something else besides salt.
Lisa told me, yes. I think I've had plenty of advice as far as seasoning, so I'll be asking for that. But for the poem, we're just going to leave it as love and salt and love.
There you go. A little bit of salt always helps. Thank you, Jill. It's beautiful.
You're welcome.
Zan, our guest of honor. It's so wonderful to have you here, of course, and I cannot wait to hear what you have to share with us.
Wow.
But
Well,
I'm going to stop you right there
You're going to stop me?
because we're going to have a drawing.
Oh,
I actually
okay.
already did it over here.
You already
And
did
the
the drawing?
winner
And what did the winner get? What does the winner get?
is Encore. It goes to Joni Caggiano.
All right, Joni. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you. Yay.
Awesome.
Oh, I know where you live, Joni, so I'll get that to you.
Thank you. Thank
Wow.
you so much, Lisa. And thank you to, I really appreciate it, Zanetta. I'm not trying to jump in on your time, but I don't know how to work I saw your sweet message, but I don't know how to do that back. So thank you for that.
Thanks for being here. And
It's
thanks
my
for your
pleasure.
awesome review of
You're
Encore.
very welcome. I'm glad they finally put it up there.
They
Took
did.
long enough.
They did because you fussed at them.
I did fuss at them.
Love
Thanks.
it.
Well, thanks everybody for being here. I wanna celebrate my amazing publisher, Lisa Tomei Zanvel. Lisa is my ride or die. I think together she and I can get into a whole lot of good trouble, and we have. So I have a feeling that after Encore, we may be doing something else. So Surprise, you get your pen ready for the next back cover blurb. You said I could write 99 books. Well, you got what, about 94 more, 95 more back cover blurbs to write.
I've got your name actually penciled in on my calendar for September of next year.
Oh
I
my
just know
God.
you too well.
Oh, we feed off each other. Lisa is amazing. You're a godsend. So thank you
Likewise.
for the fabulous job on Encore. I couldn't have done it without you. You're the only publisher that I want to work with. So thanks,
Humbled.
Lisa.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you. I also want to thank, I've said it before, Cheryl J. Jackson is amazing. Safraz Ahmed came all the way from the United Kingdom. Thank you, Safraz, for honoring me the way you do. Elizabeth, oh my goodness, all the way from Nigeria. Thank you. I can't say it enough. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep soaring. My daughter, Kelly Renee Jackson, she fell off the call. I think she was driving, or I know she's busy with kids, but she had to leave. But I want to say she's part of my amazing team that produced this book. So shout out to Kelly Jackson. Jill Sharon Kimmelman, you did it again. Oh, thank you. Your poem, reciting my poem. I'm going to share 3 poems today, but I don't know that I could do justice like those of you who recited my poetry. I love hearing my words come cross over the tongues of other people. I love it. It honors me in a big way. So thank you all for everything. I'm going to share 3 poems. And the first one was written in response to an invitation to participate in a book it was edited by Dr. Shalini Yadav of India. I was invited to submit an essay, and the book is titled Contemporary African Women Writers. The poem is a part of my essay, and it is titled, Her Words Speak for Me. And I wrote this poem to honor the female writers who inspire me, those that I admire. I admired their works. I wanted to honor them in a poem, and this is it. Her words speak for me. When Phyllis Wheatley penned religious and moral expressions, she spoke for me. When she defended her publications triumphantly and unprecedented, she spoke for me. When she fearlessly unleashed great vulnerability, she spoke for me. When Maya Angelou exclaimed the joy in her feet and the grace of her style, she spoke for me. When she shared gifts from her ancestors, she spoke for me. When she asked us to know and do better, she spoke for me. When Nikki Giovanni claimed that pyramid, she spoke for me. When she adoringly honored her mother and encouraged our daughters to dream, she spoke for me. When she demands a citizen's right and responsibility to vote, she speaks for me. When Tracy K. Smith ponders the intended purpose of our souls, she speaks for me. When she imagined the emotions of Einstein's mother, she spoke for me. When she proclaims the painful truth of our nation's declaration, she speaks for me. When Emi Mahmoud slams with love and conviction, she speaks for me. When she moves through sorrow, using the power of her words, she speaks for me. When she lauds her mama's bold resistance, she speaks for me. When Amanda Gorman climbs that hill, she speaks for me. When she declares victory over speech hurdles, she speaks for me. When she exhibits excellence and distinction, she speaks for me. When Elizabeth Ogunmodede climbs that ladder to the top, she speaks for me. When she shares sound lessons from her Nigerian grandmother, she speaks for me. When she expresses her love for literature, she speaks for me. May future generations speak for me. May they walk a well-worn path. Their way is clear, illuminated by our legendary footprints. May brilliance travel in giant leaps over the tongues of not yet born African American girls as they speak for me. I expect lessons learned, a less arduous journey. I expect our voices to resonate far into the future. I expect reflections of my complexion. I expect excellence and inspiration whenever she speaks for me. That was the end of that expression. The next one is titled Wishful Thinking, and it appears in my chapter that's titled Short and Sweet. Wishful Thinking. Hurting hearts healed, mental illness mended, physical pain purged, lonely souls lifted, furious actions forgiven, homeless families housed, hungry mouths fed, forgotten memories recovered, peaceful presence restored, generational wishes granted. The last point that I'll share is titled Mother, Tell Me a Story, Yours. This one was submitted to an anthology that was edited, the brainchild, Lisa Tomizonville, created this anthology. I hope you can see it, I'm not sure. It's called Dear Heart, and I'm honored to be a co-editor with Lisa in this book is beautiful. It includes handwritten letters, and some of the people in the audience are a part of this beautiful anthology. I hope I'm showing this picture correctly, I'm not sure. But Dear Heart, Expressions from Within. It's absolutely beautiful. The letter that I wrote was to the universe, expressing the desire of my heart. And this poem is a piece of that desire. Mother, tell me a story, yours. If only you could tell me a story, I would pour us a cup of tea. I would settle into a comfy chair. I would give you all of me. I would listen to every single word. Ooh. Your life's story should be heard. Tell me all the juicy good stuff. Tell me about when times were rough. Tell me the wildest of your thrills. I want to hear about all your fears. Talk about playing on those red dirt hills during your Mississippi childhood years. Please share the details of falling in love. Were there combatants you had to shove? Were there suitors you unintentionally hurt? What songs and scents ignited your flirt? I want your secrets, lessons, and heart's desires. Share any regrets that oft transpired. I know you have a lot to say. Speak slowly, mother. I'm here to stay. That was Mother, Tell Me a Story, Yours. I didn't expect the tears. Whoa, that just came out of nowhere. And that's truly my heart's desire. So that lets you know how genuine that expression is. Thank you so much for indulging me.
Thank you, Zan. You know, I was wanting to mention, because Zan takes pictures of benches wherever she goes. And she has pictures of benches in her What Matters journal all the way through. It was really fun putting that together with the different benches. I got kind of hooked on them too. Now I want to start taking pictures of benches. And it has a meaning in the book. The benches have a meaning in the book. And one of the things that I'm going to do for in 2024 is I'm going to start a group with the What Matters journal so that we can check in and see how we're doing with the journal. So be watching for the announcements for that. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, there's your bench out of Dear Heart.
Got a bench in Dear Heart. Yeah.
And then in Encore, how Kelly took the pictures of benches that her mother took, the pictures, and she created the art from the benches in the book. So you get to see more benches in this book. And it's really heartwarming, along with so many other surprises that you'll just have to get the book to find out what they are. Thank you all so much for coming out today. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share before we get ready to close?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I read the book and I think it's pure amazing. Zan has just, you've all said it, she's just got a massive way with words. And each and every poem you just read it, it's quite deep. There's a meaning behind it. It's beautifully, beautifully done, Zan. So I loved it. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you, Pratibha. My heart is so full.
Well, you shouldn't have opened the mic, because I have to say, say something. You know, it was almost everywhere I go. I say this to people that, you know, I went out to California, saw my daughter, saw people I hadn't seen before, and I said what I'm about to say to you now, and that is, whenever I meet someone, I look at him and I say, do you really understand that there has never ever been, never will be, or is another person like you, ever?
Yeah.
And when you look at that, you realize that they're bringing a gift to this existence that you couldn't give them, and you have a gift that you're bringing to this existence that they could not recreate. And so as I look at this panel today, I realized the platform for which you guys have laid so that people can bring that gift that only they can bring. That's a God particle. And to me, you've tapped into this God particle. And all I want to do is say, one, thank you for tapping into the God particle that I married. One. Two, keep going, because the world really needs what we're experiencing right here on this call every single day, to share the gift that we have been given that no one else will be able to share. So I just want to thank you. You know, I'd say, you know, we got to stop meeting like this. This is the third one, right? We're going to stop meeting like this. It's like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I look forward to, you know, indulging myself in all of your works too, because it's reciprocal. There's this exchange that happens. And I'm just really grateful that I'm a part of this, and that you guys get to open a gift that I get to see every single day. And I mean that, you know, with all of my family members. They're all gifts to me, and I just love opening them. And I'm honored that they give them to me. So let your light shine, and just thank you again. This is really extraordinary.
Thank you, Jen.
I just want to tap in really quick. Sorry that I dropped off. I'm always a moving target. I'm so proud of you, Mommy. And I have one of your grandchildren here. Hi. Who was able to listen to you for just a brief moment. And I just want to say thank you so much. Again, my dad just said, your light is bright and you are just sharing your gifts with the world and pulling me in to allow me to create something beautiful for you was heartwarming and heartfelt. And I'm just so proud of number 3 coming out and the support you have on this call. It's beautiful to see all these faces that I hear so much about. You guys pour into my mom, and I know she pours into you because she can't help herself. So I just want to say thank you for that, and just continue creating this beautiful world with your works.
And my family is amazing. Oh man, thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, everybody. I'm beside myself.
I just want to add, Zan, just to let you know, this year was the year that I've started doing open mic.
Yes.
in front of a live audience. You might have seen some of the kind of photos and the little videos that I kind of share, and that was massive for me. But at the end, when the audience asked me, or the poets that are with me, they say, "So who's your inspiration? Who should we be reaching out to?" And the name on my tongue is Zan Johns, and that is the name that I really, really inspire to. And you know, and I think we are very, very lucky. Everyone here in this audience, but I think people that will read your work are very lucky to have a living poet among us. You know, and I called you a living legend, and I think you are, you know, for us certainly. And I'm not just saying this because I don't, you know, there are so many people out there, so many poets that we know, but I mean, like I said, I mean, there are two for me that are very, very strong, and they're always in my heart, and that's one is you, Zan, and the other is Elliot, who I was deemed as my mentor. I dedicated my last book, The Ramblings of the Romantic Poet, because he took my poetry in a different direction, and I can see a different direction in this book as well. I can see a maturity, and I can see something that is very, very exciting, and I'm looking forward. You know, I was so excited that you were writing a new poetry book, and like I said, you know, it's just exciting for the poetry world to have you. So, for everyone out there, please buy the book, write the reviews, share the good work, and let's support Zan and to where she needs to be, which is the top, I think. So, thank you, Zan. Thank you very much.
You guys, you lift me. You know, I'm not used to tooting my own horn, or, you know, I'm a humble person. My heart is so full. I have to admit, because you keep lifting me, and I receive it. I am in awe of myself. I've got to admit it now. I'm gonna admit it. I'm in awe of what I've been able to accomplish over the last 3 years. And you are part of it. You did feed me, and I receive your love. I receive your inspiration. You cheered me on, you nudged, you pushed. Jim and Janet told me in 2020 to fasten my seatbelt. And I'm like, what? And so click, I'm fastening my seatbelt, because it gets scary sometimes, but I'm on a journey with you. You're with me. I carry you in my heart. And when I write because I write what comes. I write what I feel, and it's reflected. And, you know, my recitation earlier showed you, I write what I feel. So thank you for nudging me and supporting me and keeping me strong and lifting me up. I love you all. There's nothing more to say. I love you all. Thanks.
Thank you, Zan. Thank you all so much for coming out. And you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
You are the amazing launch producer.